Welcome to Epic English Podcast in Context. This is episode 18.
Hello, everyone. It is great to be back with you.
Whether you are a returning listener or you're new to our community, we are so happy you're here. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam.
Before we start our lesson today, I just want to invite you to like this episode.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening on a platform that allows it, please leave a comment to say hello. And, of course, make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, that way you never miss a lesson.
Exactly.
And we also have a very important tool for you today. It's something to help you study.
Oh, right.
We've created a free PDF handout for this episode. You can find the link in the description below, or you can scan the QR code you see on the screen right now.
I took a look at the handout earlier, and there is a lot of material in there. Can you tell our listeners, exactly what's inside it?
Absolutely. We designed this handout to sort of guide you through the whole learning process.
Okay.
Inside, you'll find four main things. First, there's a free watching activity. You should do this before you listen, just to warm up your brain.
Good idea.
Second, there's a while watching activity. You can complete this during the episode to keep your focus.
Okay, that makes sense.
Third, there are after watching activities to practice what you learned. And fourth, we've included the full podcast script so you can read along with us.
That is really helpful. I find that having the script makes a huge difference.
It really does. My advice is to listen to this episode one time without stopping. Just, listen to the flow of the conversation.
Right.
Then download the handout and listen a second time while reading the script. This is probably the best way to improve your listening and reading skills at the same time.
Good tip.
Oh, and also, if you want to jump to a specific part of the lesson, just check the timestamps in the description.
Okay, let's talk about our goal for today. Today, we are learning 5 natural ways to say, "that makes sense" in English.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have to be honest. I use this phrase all the time. I feel like I say "that makes sense" maybe 10 times a day. But sometimes I feel like I'm using it like a robot.
You are not alone there. It's a very, very common habit. And that makes sense. It's kind of like the vanilla ice cream of English phrases.
Ah, vanilla ice cream?
Yeah, it's safe, it's common, but it can be a little boring if you use it for everything.
Exactly. And sometimes I worry that I'm not being polite enough, or maybe I'm not showing enough emotion.
That is the key. These phrases we're learning today, they all show that you understand someone. But, and this is the important part, they have different levels of agreement and politeness.
Ah,
They also have different temperatures. Some are cold and logical. Some are warm and supportive. Using the right phrase can really improve your communication and, your relationships.
I love that idea of temperature. So are you ready to look at the first one?
I am ready. Let's look at our first expression.
Okay. The first expression is the classic one. It's simply, "that makes sense."
That makes sense.
Let's break this down. You mentioned temperature earlier. Where does this phrase sit on the scale? Is it hot? Cold?
This phrase is quite neutral. If
Yeah.
we're talking about temperature, this is room temperature.
Room temperature.
Yeah. It isn't hot and isn't cold. It is just a fact.
So what's the context? Where do we usually use this?
We use this phrase everywhere. I mean, you
Yeah.
can use it at work, at school, or in your daily life with friends.
Yeah.
But you need to understand the strategy behind it.
What do you mean by strategy?
Well, think about the meaning. That makes sense. Means I follow your logic.
Okay.
It means I understand why something is happening. It does not always mean I agree with your opinion. It just means the explanation is logical.
That is a really important distinction. So I can use this to be polite, even if I don't necessarily like the situation.
Exactly. Think of that makes sense as a receipt.
A receipt.
Yeah, when you buy something at a store, you get a receipt, right?
Yeah.
It proves the transaction happened. When you say that makes sense, you're giving the other person a verbal receipt.
Ah, I see.
You are saying, I have received your logic. You aren't saying you're happy about it. You're just saying the logic is valid.
I see. So it's a very safe phrase.
Yes, it's safe. Its strength is neutral. You are acknowledging the logic and, well, nothing more.
Let's look at some examples to make this clear. Imagine example A. You're at school or work.
Right. So imagine the teacher explains why a deadline was moved to a different day. Maybe the computer system is broken.
Okay.
Now, the student might not be happy about the change. Maybe they wanted to finish the work today. But the reason the broken computer is logical. So the student says, That makes sense.
Okay, so the student isn't jumping for joy. They're just accepting the fact.
Correct. Now let's look at example B, in daily life.
Imagine a friend is late to meet you. They explain that there was a lot of traffic on the bridge because of an accident.
Again, you might be annoyed that they're late, but an accident causes traffic. That's a logical cause and effect. So
Yeah.
you say, that makes sense. You're validating their excuse.
Those are very clear examples. Now let's do some mini role plays. I want to hear how this sounds in a real conversation. In this first role play, we are at work. I'm the manager, and I'm explaining a new rule to you.
I'm listening.
Sam, we need to keep the office door locked after 5 p.m. because security is worried about theft.
That makes sense.
Okay, let's pause there. That felt very final.
It did. It was a short interaction. You gave me a rule with a logical reason, security. I accepted the logic. I didn't say, oh, I love locking doors. I just said, logic accepted.
Very efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the second role play. We're friends. You explain why you can't go to the cinema with me.
I really can't go to the cinema tonight. I am trying to save money for my holiday next month.
That makes sense.
See, you understood my reason. You didn't try to persuade me to go. You accepted my financial logic.
Is there a common mistake people make with this phrase? I feel like sometimes I use it when I shouldn't.
Yes, there is one very common mistake. Sometimes people say, that makes sense, just to be polite, even when they are still, confused.
Oh, I am definitely guilty of that. I do that when I don't want to look stupid.
A lot of learners do that. But it's dangerous. If you say, that makes sense, the other person thinks you understand perfectly. They will stop explaining.
And then later you make a mistake.
Exactly. And they will be confused because, well, you said you understood.
So honesty is the best policy here.
Yes. Only say that makes sense if you truly follow the logic. If you're confused, just ask a question instead.
Good tip. Now let's practice. For everyone listening, I want you to repeat the phrase. I'll leave a quiet space for you to speak. Try to sound calm and logical.
Ready.
Listen and repeat. That makes sense.
Great. Now let's try a quiz. We'll describe a situation. You have to decide what to say. But remember, don't say the answer yet.
Here's the scenario for quiz 1. You are at a train station. The train is delayed, and you're frustrated. The guard explains clearly why the train is late. There's a cow on the track.
A cow on the track, okay.
There's a logical reason. You want to acknowledge this reason without being overly emotional. What do you say?
Think about it. Is this a moment for high emotion or for just accepting facts? Hold that answer in your head. We'll move to the next expression.
Our second expression is very similar to the first one, but it feels much stronger. It is, that makes total sense.
That makes total sense.
So this is just one word different. We added the word total. Does one word really change the meaning that much?
It changes the feeling completely. The word total adds emphasis, yes, but more importantly, it adds warmth.
So where does this one sit on our temperature scale?
If the first phrase was room temperature, this one is warm. It's sunny.
Okay, I like that. So what context is this for?
This is for supportive situations or strong agreement. It means I completely understand, but it often implies something more. It implies I agree with you or I support this idea.
Or I validate your feelings.
Exactly. That word validate is powerful. So if the first phrase was just a receipt for logic, this phrase is more like
A high five.
Exactly. That is a perfect way to describe it. It's a verbal high five. The best situation to use this is when you want to make the other person feel good about their idea or their feelings.
Let's look at example A for work.
Imagine a colleague suggests a solution to a difficult budget problem. Maybe they found a way to save money. You think it's a perfect idea. You don't just want to say it's logical. You want to say it's excellent.
So you say,
that makes total sense.
it gives them confidence, right?
Yes. It tells them you are right and I am with you on this.
And for example B, with friends.
Imagine your friend is upset about a situation. Maybe they had a bad day at work and they were complaining to you. They explain why they're feeling sad. You want to be a good friend.
Right.
You don't just want to accept the logic. You want to support them. You say, that makes total sense.
It validates their emotions. It says, you have a right to feel this way.
Exactly. It makes them feel heard and understood on a much deeper level.
Let's try the role plays. I want to feel the difference in energy here. Role play 1. We are at work. You explain a strategy for our group project.
I think we should divide the work by our skills. You are good at writing, and I'm good at design, so we will finish faster.
That makes total sense.
See? You sounded enthusiastic. You really liked my idea. It wasn't just logical. It was a great plan.
It felt good to say it. Now, role play 2. Daily life. I explain why I'm so tired.
Okay.
I worked all weekend without a break, and then I had to drive for 4 hours, so I am absolutely exhausted today.
That makes total sense.
I feel very supported when you say that. I feel like you really understand my pain.
And that is the goal. I'm telling you that your tiredness is justified.
Is there a mistake to avoid with this phrase?
Yes. Be careful with your tone, because this is a strong phrase. It can be used sarcastically.
Oh, like when you say the opposite of what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I say, oh, yeah, that makes total sense with a rolling voice, it sounds like I think your idea is stupid.
Right. Oh, sure, that makes total sense. That sounds mean.
It's very rude. So you must make sure your tone is sincere and honest. Your voice should sound warm.
Okay, so we must be sincere. Listeners, let's practice. Repeat the phrase with a warm, supportive voice. Imagine you're talking to your best friend.
Ready.
Listen and repeat. That makes total sense.
Excellent. Now it is time for quiz 2.
Here is the scenario. Your friend is very stressed. They have 3 exams tomorrow. They explain that they cannot go to the party tonight because they need to study. You want to show strong support for their decision. You want to tell them they're doing the right thing. Which phrase is best?
Remember your answer. Later, we'll ask you to type it in the comments.
Okay, let's move to expression number 3. This one is, I see what you mean.
I see what you mean.
This one sounds a bit different. It doesn't use the word sense. What's the context here?
This phrase is very, well, I would call it sophisticated. It's perfect for discussions, debates, or just polite conversation. The thoughtful phrase.
And what does it mean exactly?
In this context, the verb see means understand. So it means I understand your perspective. But here is the secret power of this phrase. It's very polite.
Can I use it if I disagree with the person?
Yes, that is actually the best time to use it. Imagine you are in an argument. If you just say, no, you're wrong, the argument gets worse.
It gets hot.
Right. But if you say, I see what you mean, you're cooling the conversation down. You're saying, I have looked at your idea and I understand it.
And then comes the but.
Exactly. You can say, I see what you mean, but I think. This is a classic debating strategy. It validates the other person before you give your counter-argument.
That's a great strategy. It makes the other person more willing to listen to you. Let's look at example A at work.
Imagine a meeting. 2 people have different ideas. One person wants to spend money on marketing. The other wants to spend it on product development. One person listens to the other's point of view. To be polite, they say, I see what you mean.
It keeps the meeting professional.
Yes, it prevents a fight.
And example B in daily life.
Imagine you're deciding which movie to watch. Your friend explains why they dislike horror movies. Maybe they get nightmares.
Okay.
You might love horror movies, but you understand their feeling. You say, I see what you mean.
It shows empathy, but it doesn't necessarily change my own opinion.
Correct.
Yeah.
You still like horror movies, but you understand why they don't.
Let's do the role plays. Role play 1 is a work discussion. I'll argue that our team needs a break. We are, disagreeing slightly here.
Right.
The team has been working for 4 hours straight. We are losing focus. I really think we need a break.
I see what you mean.
That was very polite. You considered my point. You didn't say yes and you didn't say no. You just acknowledged my perspective.
Exactly. I'm keeping the door open for discussion. Now, role play 2. Friends. I explain why I prefer tea over coffee.
Okay.
Coffee makes me too jittery and anxious.
Oh.
Tea is much more relaxing for me.
I see what you mean.
It keeps the conversation friendly. You aren't judging my choice.
So what's the common mistake here?
The mistake is speed. Some people say, I see what you mean, and then immediately interrupt the other person. They say it too fast.
Ah, like they aren't really listening. They're just waiting for their turn to talk.
Yes. Like, I see what you mean, but listen to me. That is rude.
So how do we fix it?
To use this correctly, you must pause. Show that you actually processed their thought before you speak again. A small silence shows respect.
That is so important for being a good listener. Okay, listeners, let's practice. Say this thoughtfully. Imagine you're thinking about someone's idea. Listen and repeat. I see what you mean.
Good. Now, are you ready for quiz 3?
Here's the scenario. You are debating a topic in class. Your classmate gives an opinion that is different from yours. However, you understand their reason. You want to be polite and respectful before you give your own opinion. What do you say?
Keep that answer in your mind. We have 2 more expressions to learn.
Expression number 4 is, I get it now.
I get it now.
This one feels a little more casual, a bit lighter.
Yes, the label for this is informal. It's used for problem solving, or what we call the aha moment.
The aha moment. I like that sound.
Yes, that moment when a light bulb turns on in your brain, when you suddenly understand something that was difficult before.
Let's look at the words. I get it. Get here means understand.
Yes, but the word now is the most important part of this phrase.
Why is now so important?
It implies a change. It implies that you were confused before, but after the explanation, the confusion is gone. It is clear now.
So this is a phrase about transition, from dark to light, from confused to clear.
Exactly. The best situation to use this is after someone helps you solve a problem or explains a joke you didn't understand. It shows relief.
Okay, let's look at example A, school or work. You are confused by a math problem or a complex spreadsheet.
All right, you're staring at the screen.
Yeah.
You're frustrated. Then the teacher or a colleague comes over. They explain one little step. Suddenly it clicks. You feel that relief.
And you say,
I get it now.
it is a great feeling. And example B,
In daily life, maybe someone tells a joke. You don't understand it at first. Everyone else is laughing, but you're silent.
ugh, that's so embarrassing.
It is. Then your friend explains the punchline. You finally understand the humor. You laugh and say, oh, I get it now.
I love that feeling of understanding. Let's try the role plays. Role play 1. You help me solve a problem. You explain how to use the office coffee machine because it's very complicated.
You are pressing the wrong button. You have to press the green button twice to start the water.
Ah, I get it now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You were confused, and now you are not. I can hear the relief in your voice.
Let's try role play 2. Daily life. I am looking at a map and I'm lost. You are giving me directions.
Okay.
Wait, I thought the restaurant was on Main Street.
No, look at the map. The restaurant is behind the bank, not in front of it.
Oh, I get it now.
So is there a mistake to avoid with this one?
I'm guessing I shouldn't use this in a very formal meeting.
Right. This is an informal phrase. Do not use this in a very formal speech or a presentation to a CEO. It might sound a bit too casual, like you weren't prepared.
So keep it for casual or semi-formal interactions with colleagues and friends.
Correct.
Listeners, let's practice. Try to sound like you just had a realization. You can use an ah sound or an o sound at the start. It makes it sound more natural. Listen and repeat. I get it now.
Very good. Let's do quiz 4.
Here is the scenario. You were lost using a new software app on your phone. You didn't know what to do. Your coworker shows you the correct button to press. The confusion is gone immediately. What do you say?
Okay, we have one final expression to learn today.
Expression number 5 is, okay, I understand.
Okay, I understand.
This sounds very simple, almost too simple.
It is simple, but simple can be powerful. The context here is neutral and calm. It's often used for receiving instructions.
And what does it imply?
It's a very direct way to acknowledge information. It just signals message received. It's often used when you're getting instructions, bad news, or corrections.
Is it positive or negative?
It's neither, really. It's neutral to serious. It's professional. It basically means, I have heard you and I will comply.
Comply. That means to obey, right?
Yes. This is often used when there is a hierarchy, like a boss speaking to an employee or a police officer speaking to a driver.
Let's look at example A at work.
Imagine a boss gives specific instructions on how to format a report. They say, do it exactly this way. You don't need to say, that's a great idea. You just need to show that you heard the instruction and you'll do it.
So you say,
okay, I understand.
then example B.
Imagine a doctor is giving you instructions about taking medicine. Take this pill 3 times a day with food. You need to be serious. You need to show you're listening carefully. You say, okay, I understand.
Let's do the role plays. Role play 1, you are the boss. You're giving me a correction. Maybe I was late.
Alex, please try to arrive 10 minutes early tomorrow for the meeting. It is very important.
Okay, I understand.
You accepted the instruction calmly.
Yeah.
You didn't argue. You didn't make excuses. You just accepted it.
Now, role play 2. You tell me that a store is closed.
Okay.
Sam, the shop is closed on Sunday, so we can't go shopping today.
Okay, I understand.
It closes the conversation. There's nothing more to say.
Exactly.
What's the common mistake with this phrase?
The mistake is all about tone. This is the most dangerous phrase for tone. If you say this with a bored or annoyed tone, it sounds very bad.
Like a teenager.
Yes, exactly. Imagine a teenager rolling their eyes. Okay, I understand.
That sounds so disrespectful.
It is very disrespectful. It sounds like you're annoyed by the instruction.
So how should we say it?
Keep your tone calm, flat, and professional. Your voice should go down at the end. Okay, I understand.
Listeners, let's practice that calm, professional tone. Do not sound bored, sound professional. Listen and repeat. Okay, I understand.
Well done. Now, here is our final quiz, quiz 5.
You are in a car. A police officer stops you. The officer tells you that you cannot park your car here. It is illegal. You need to accept the instruction politely and move the car. What do you say?
Think about which phrase is the most appropriate for a police officer. You want to show respect and compliance.
We have learned a lot today. We've looked at 5 phrases with very different feelings. Let's do a quick recap.
Sure. Let's look at the spectrum we built.
Number 1 was, that makes sense. That's for neutral logic.
With your C.
Number 2 was, that makes total sense.
For strong support.
Yeah.
The warm high five.
Right. Number 3, I see what you mean.
The polite discussion phrase. The diplomat.
Number 4 was, I get it now.
The aha moment. From dark to light.
And number 5 was, okay, I understand.
That's for accepting instructions. The professional.
Now, about those quizzes, we did not give you the answers.
That's right. We want you to tell us. Please type your answers for all 5 quizzes in the comments section below.
We promise that we will read your comments and we will reply with the correct answers. We really want to see how well you understood the lesson.
And don't forget to download the handout if you haven't yet. It contains all the scripts and activities to help you master these phrases.
And we invite you to listen to this episode again while reading the script. It will really help your reading and listening speed.
Thank you so much for studying with us today.
We hope you join us for the next episode of Epic.
See you next time.